2 weeks ago, a woman discovered something that made her question her entire marriage. It started with something small, a simple notification. Her husband's phone lit up on the kitchen counter while he was in the shower. She wasn't planning to look at it. In fact, she almost ignored it. But the message preview caught her attention. It said only 4 words. "See you tomorrow again." Her heart skipped. The contact name was saved as Emily Office. At first, she told herself it meant nothing. Her husband worked with dozens of people, but something about it felt strange, because he had never mentioned an Emily before. When he came back from the shower, she casually asked him about his day at work. He answered quickly, too quickly. Then he changed the subject. That was the moment something inside her started to feel wrong. Over the next few days, she noticed small changes. Her husband started coming home later than usual, sometimes an hour late, sometimes 2. He said work had been busy, deadlines, new projects, meetings. At first she believed him, but then the messages continued. Always short, always late at night, and always from the same person. Emily. One evening when he fell asleep early on the couch, she finally did something she had never done before. She picked up his phone. Her hands were shaking. For a moment she hesitated. Then she opened the messages. What she saw made her stomach drop. Dozens of conversations, late-night chats, jokes, private conversations that sounded far more personal than coworkers should ever have. Then she saw a message from earlier that day. "I can't wait until tomorrow." Her heart started racing. Tomorrow. She checked the calendar. Her husband had told her he would be working late again. Something didn't feel right. So the next day, she made a decision. Instead of staying home, she drove to his office. The parking lot was almost empty. Most employees had already left, but his car wasn't there. Her chest tightened. She checked the time. It was exactly when he said he was still at work. That's when she remembered something. Her husband shared his phone location with her months earlier. Slowly, she opened the map. The location was moving, not near the office, not near home, but across town, at a small restaurant. For a moment, she simply stared at the screen. Then she got in her car and drove there. The restaurant was dimly lit, quiet. When she walked inside, she immediately saw him. Her husband was sitting at a table. Across from him was a woman. They were laughing, leaning closer than coworkers should. And then she saw it. The woman reached for his hand, and he didn't pull away. For a moment, everything around her felt silent. But instead of walking over, she turned around and left. Because suddenly she had a different idea. That night, her husband came home late, just like he promised. He told her work had been exhausting. She smiled and said nothing. Because earlier that evening, she had already done something he never expected. She had called his office and asked for someone from Human Resources. Then she calmly explained what she had seen. The next morning, her husband left for work like always, but he came home much earlier than usual. His face was pale, his voice shaking. Apparently, someone at the company had reported an inappropriate relationship between employees, and now both of them were under investigation. He tried to explain, tried to deny everything, but she simply looked at him and said one sentence. "You shouldn't lie to someone who already knows the truth." Sometimes people think their secrets will stay hidden forever, but sometimes the truth shows up exactly where you least expect it.